Okay, we're going to check out these hexagonal shop light here. So people use these in their garages. You'll see the fancy vloggers using them in the background. I don't know, they're really cool right now. So I'm kind of excited to try them out and see what's going on. Well, what do we got here in this box? Let's see. We got a power cord. We've got another power cord. We've got some drywall things for hooking this thing to drywall. We got some zip ties. I love zip ties. I think zip tie might be a brand name. We'll have to call these nylon ties. We've got these ends, all right. And then we got a whole bunch of these tubes. These are the light tubes. So let's just, oh, we got instructions in here too. It's a big box. Oh yeah, this shows us how to put it together. So let's try to put this thing together, see how it does. Okay, I got no idea what I'm doing. I haven't read the instructions, but it can't be that hard to figure these things out. So these tubes, this is the business end, this is where the light comes out. Yeah, and this is the back side. So this gives you not a blinding light, which is kind of nice, but shouldn't leave a lot of shadows. And then you got these little shapes here that you plug the ends into. So the ends are kind of recessed in there. So that's kind of neat. So I think they just plug right in like that. It's pretty easy. Now this is light, so my idea here is to suspend it. I don't have a fancy garage or something, but I want to be able to suspend this off the ground, obviously. But it's so light, it feels like I could like move it around and like experiment with the space, so to speak. And you can't install this the wrong way because the hooker-upper thingies are just on one side. So it's like, really seems pretty foolproof here. And it's going together just easy. And there's little screw holes through these so we can screw it into the roof if we want to. I might suspend this by chains, we're gonna see here. So yeah, let's get it put together real quick. Just get a little closer look at how each of these pieces work. So little tab in here, we can get some focus. This guy kind of clips over. So once they're in, they're secure. You can still release them because the system is kind of modular, like you can reshape it and redo it. But just a good, ingenious way of doing things. These tubes, the idea here is to be light, but if they fall off the ceiling or something, they're not gonna break. So that's all pretty nice. Really pretty simple to put this system together. And then it doesn't matter where your outlet is, you can hook your power into it no matter where you end up putting this. So that's nice. So we can kind of change around our shape or change around where we're getting our power in relation to the rest of the hexagons. And then there's your mounting holes. So pretty, I'm pretty excited about this here. It's good for a guy who likes to fiddle around putting stuff together. This light's actually going to be bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's going to cover a pretty large area, which is cool. So two ways you can wire this. You can hardwire it, or you can just plug it into a wall. For now, I'm going to plug it into the wall until I make sure I like it, where it's placed and everything, and then we can go in and hardwire it to put it on a switch. So before I put it up on the ceiling, I just wanted to plug it in. First of all, this thing's way bigger than I thought it was going to be, which is awesome. This is a bright light for sure, but not blinding. Like I can look at it and not feel like, I don't know, like I'm looking into the sun or something. So it's diffused very well. Boy, it's a mess in here. Somebody needs to clean this place. Okay, I'm going to put it up on the ceiling, turn off the existing little light I have, and see what it looks like in here. Well, it looks like a mess. Now, if I was going to do like a permanent install of this, which I may up here, I would put up a thin piece of plywood and then screw it to the plywood. It has screw holes in it to make that possible. But for now, I'm just going to see if I can just get it up here and just see if the light is good for what we're doing in the barn. Who would put fancy lights like this up at a barn? Well, we do. That's just the way we do it. And sometimes we don't do things the right way, and you know what? That's okay. We're just gonna See if any of these screws line up with these ceiling joists. Yep, that one will. And it is nice, again, that they give you screws to do this with. And they give you drywall anchors too, but whatever. I ain't fancy enough to have drywall. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's plug this thing in. This is about a 200 square foot space that we're lighting with it. A good, kind of cool light. As far as the temperature goes, let's get the camera over here. So there it is, up on the ceiling. This is the fanciest barn everybody's had. It is certainly lighting up the barn fully. I'll go unplug it. Let's see if you can just see some junk here. I'll unplug it so you can kind of see the difference, because there is light intrusion from the outside. So quite a bit dimmer without that light indeed. We'll plug these back in. And that's a good light that, like, if you're working on the floor and then you look up and you get that in your face, it doesn't like whack out your vision. So I'm actually really, really happy with this. It's not throwing a lot of weird shadows. There are still shadows because the lights are up coming down, but I don't know, I feel like I can see really well in here. This is a dark old barn. So yeah, like the kit, putting it together is pretty easy. You know, I wouldn't call it commercial style. I would call it, you know, residential grade, but we're lighting this old barn up pretty good. It actually worked really good in the garage. I get a couple of them together.